Hey guys, welcome to another New World video. So it would appear that the February Ptr announcement was released today, so I thought we could have a look at it together and see what we're in for this month. I'm really hoping that we get some changes that we've been really anticipating because the game is really suffering right now, and with the release of Lost Ark right on the horizon, this game really needs to do something to get themselves on tracks before we lose too many players. So anyway, let's get into it. So it begins by describing what the Ptr is as usual, which we all know, and so the Ptr will officially open tomorrow, February 3rd at 10 a.m. So that's when everybody can get logged in, is tomorrow and February 3rd at 10 a.m. And it's the regular stuff. The servers are limited, report any bugs or anything you come across, nothing new there. This is a bugs, balance, and polish Ptr. So while they won't be providing any new content this cycle, they have numerous changes that will provide you, our players, with a much better day-to-day experience as you adventure throughout Eternum. Here are some of our significant and exciting changes to look forward to in the playtester as a playtester on Ptr. Looks like they're finally going to fix the weapon swapping. Weapons can now be swapped during reactions, dodges, traversal, and while using consumables, except weapon coatings, and will not interrupt those actions. But there's still going to be a 1-second swap cooldown in these cases to prevent instant weapon swapping. So we're never going to have instant weapon swapping, which is what they said during their dev update. So that's not a real surprise. It's a little disappointing, but it would be really nice to have that instant weapon reaction time. So you can now queue your weapon swapping and attack actions simultaneously. So if you press a weapon swap during an attack recovery, then immediately press an ability key, the weapon will swap at the first swap cancel frame, then immediately perform the desired ability. So I guess that's pretty good. It's still going to leave a little bit of it's still going to feel a little clunky, I think, because it's not instant. It's got a 1-second delay, but at least it queues. So you're not hammering keys wondering what the hell's going to happen or getting stuck in a, can't swap animation. And we now prevent weapon swap buffers from being cancelled if you become staggered before the swap can occur. Oh, that's perfect. Because I don't know about you guys, but that's my number one complaint is you're trying to swap weapons and just a stagger just cancels it and you never swap. So that's good that that's getting fixed, if it gets fixed. Dodging and blocking. They've shortened the length of recovery for all of the dodges. Dodging and entering into navigation should feel fluid for all players now. That's pretty sweet. Basic attack startups for both melee and range can now be dodge and block cancelled up to 2 frames before the first active frame. That's pretty nice. So you're not stuck in if you go to initiate an attack and then somebody comes to attack you and you don't want to get stuck in the attack animation and get killed, you can block out of it, which is actually pretty good. And jumping. Jumping off lower heights will no longer trigger a fully committed landing reaction animation, allowing you to keep your momentum as you move through Eternum. That doesn't really affect me much, but I suppose if you were world PvPing, which nobody does anymore, that would be really good. Some balance changes. A cleanup pass has been performed across all weapon types, helping a number of abilities and perks feel more predictable. We'll have to test those, but they're reworking perks they said they were going to be, so we'll look more at those as we test them in the Ptr. The Great Axe has received a significant rework to Gravity Well, which scares me, because who knows what they've done to it. Let's hope it's not hard nerfed, or if you're one of those people who keeps getting owned by Great Axe users, I suppose let's hope it does get hard nerfed. The musket stopping power, sticky bomb, and shooter stance, they're receiving significant reworks. Makes me a little bit nervous because they keep adjusting the musket and making it worse and worse and worse. I really hope that they didn't just completely ruin shooter stance and sticky bomb, but we'll have to test that also on the Ptr. I really like this change that they're introducing a new collider solution that is supposed to significantly reduce the amount of pushback. So when you're fighting bosses and stuff, you're not getting pushed across the map all the time, which is the number one complaint. They're supposed to be reducing that, so that's pretty sweet. They improved AI targeting to fix instances where AI sometimes attacks locations the player used to be instead of where they actually moved to, so that might make the mutations a little tougher. And reduce pushback on block for most creature attacks, which is amazing because tanks, I know any tanks that I know are just sick of being pushed around all over the map. You can't hold a creature in an appropriate position. Like when you raid in other MMOs, the tank moves the boss to a certain location on the map or in the room or whatever, and everybody is attacking it. But with New World, the problem has always been that the tank, it doesn't matter where the tank moves it to, it just pushes the tank around anyway. It goes wherever it wants. So some changes to Outpost Rush, multiple AI and visual bugs have been addressed. They rebalanced the siege weapons, hopefully made them stronger. They're reworking the scoring contribution rewards. So dealing damage now gives you score. They've reduced the amount of points for killing enemy players. And they've reduced the amount of points for killing enemy AI. I don't know if that's going to be good, honestly, unless you get a significant amount of points for just doing damage. Because a lot of people, when you get into a Outpost rush late, your only real option for hitting your points so that you can get your gypsum and stuff is to kill a few mobs quickly before the game ends, or else you've wasted your time in queue and everything. We'll see. Maybe it'll be good. They've adjusted game mode participation rewards. So now you'll get faction tokens on a match completion. You get 2 pieces of Outpost Rush specific armor and Outpost Rush specific weapon. There's also a 15% chance of receiving a 4th piece of Outpost Rush jewelry. That's kind of interesting. They've increased the likelihood of Outpost Rush caches, increasing your expertise rating, which is really good. You'll get people back in Outpost Rush to get bumps, which is a lot more fun than running boxes all day in Elite Zergs. And now they're saying that the Outpost Rush gear will roll PvP specific perks, removing things like Beast Ward, which is really good. They're replacing it with Keen, which is even better. But it's not retroactive, so obviously if you already had gear from Outpost Rush, it'll still have the Beast Ward. And for crafting, what they're doing is reducing trade skill experience leveling requirements by 10% for the following trade skills: Arcana, Armoring, Engineering, Furnishing, Jewel Crafting, and Weaponsmithing. And a new trade chat channel has been added, facilitating a dedicated space to hawk your wares. So they're adding a trade channel. Well, that's pretty cool. And then they say that they've made a lot of other changes across the world experience. So we'll have to look at the Ptr Patch Notes for a bigger picture. So there's just a ton of changes. When you look at the patch notes for the PTR, we won't go over every single one because we would be at this for 3 hours and you guys can read, I'm sure. But some notable ones. So looking at the patch notes, we already covered the weapon swapping, the dodging and blocking, the jumping. The 300 focus attribute bonus will now trigger your regeneration at 15 mana or less, which is good. They fixed a bunch of bugs. Now for the perk reworks, there's a lot of them, so you're going to have to look up the weapon that you prefer yourself, because this would be a 2-hour long video if I read them all. But basically what it boils down to is the bow got a little bit of a nerf, the fire staff got a pretty decent buff, the great axe got a little bit of a nerf, the hatchet just got a bit of a fix, the ice gauntlet got like a pretty good fix, the life staff just got fixes, the musket got some pretty good nerfs, the rapier just got better explanations, the spear got some of its animations fixed, and the sword and shield just got some of its animations fixed and some slight changes, nothing major. The void gauntlet got the mending evasion fixed, where apparently it was resetting your lowest active cooldowns in addition to its listed effects. It won't do that anymore. And the warhammer got a little bit of a nerf as well, the same as the great axe in terms of the damage reduction provided by the passive, and a little bit of fixes in animation. So for further detail, you can look up whichever weapon that you prefer and see if any of that affects you. I won't cover each and every little thing individually. There's a ton of tiny fixes to Outpost Rush, but it's basically just what I read you in the news, like the changes to the rewards, the changes to the scoring, and reduce the damage of brutes by 10%. So that's good. For those rolling balls, they've fixed a bunch of map markers for quests. It's all pretty standard stuff that we expected. They reduced by 10% the experience needed to level those crafting professions, as I mentioned before. They also apparently fixed an issue that was preventing tier 5 family musket from dropping. And then it apparently is going to fix the muskets having the improper tier number on them. And apparently Bartholomew at Thunder Harbor was dropping some level inappropriate gear. They took away the armor smithing chest from him, so if you didn't get it, that sucks. But I'm guessing 100% that's what they did. They redid all the crafting tier 5 weapon schematics that were only crafting at 590 so that their recipes are now epic instead of legendary, which is helpful for new players for sure, because you invest all those materials and you don't understand how it works. You think because it's a legendary recipe, then you get a 590, that would suck. This one I was kind of interested in. The yellow topaz no longer has a minimum drop time. The black gypsum minimum drop time has been reduced from 10 to 5 minutes. And the purple gypsum minimum drop time has been reduced from 120 seconds to 30 seconds. So you can get your gypsum done a lot quicker every day. And here's one everybody's been waiting for. The Smelter crafting gear now drops from tier 3 Aptitude boxes. And I would assume those would be the Aptitude boxes for smelting. And drop of Vicious Azoth now drop from Armor Aptitude boxes. And there's a bunch more bug fixes to various instances and sets like visual issues and stuff like that. We'll look a lot closer at it as we play the PTR. I just really wanted to let you guys know what was going on and that the PTR was coming tomorrow. It seems like some of these fixes are really exciting, and I'm really hoping that it gets the game back on track. I know it doesn't really change everything, and I have another video that I've been working on discussing some of the things that I feel need to be changed and what is causing people to leave right now. If you're interested in watching that, it'll be up tomorrow. And I'm sorry that I didn't cover every little line in this, but I'm still feeling really crappy, as you guys know. And I'm sure you can hear in my voice. The Omicron has taken me out. So anyway, guys, that's about it for the PTR. I'll be making a few more videos as I get in and really start trying this stuff, because as far as it goes with these patch notes, a lot of this stuff is just words. Because we've found over and over again that you read through all these and you get all excited, and then you get into the PTR and none of it's real, or half of it isn't. So I just thought I'd let you guys know about the bigger stuff that was going on, and then tomorrow when I'm on the PTR, I'll start recording and start testing some stuff and figure out what things we can get. Okay? Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.